her friend. Okay. That's what you said.
Okay. On a more serious note, Adina in voice super.
Are you sure?
Super. Are you asking whether I'm sure?
Yeah, because
Adina's voice super.
What I'm saying, no, you see, Adina, as I mentioned on that show, you remember I mentioned that there are two voices that we underestimate, and that Adina is one.
Yeah.
I was surprised no one asked the other voice.
Which one is that?
Kwame.
Sina.
You wait.
Oh,
Sina's good, all right.
Yes.
Okay.
But
I wanted to know whether it's the second one.
There's a voice that, even when it comes to awards near Dear Krano, we don't even discuss. Here is a voice that, whether on record or live, she sounds just like. If she's singing, she sounds just like the record. Can you imagine? Listen to this voice, folks. Listen to this voice. Listen to it. Sometimes when I hear her sing, about.
Yeah.
Like,
I've heard it.
Yeah.
Serious.
Interestingly, no one
It
discusses
sounds
it.
the same on record.
No one talks about it.
Yeah, live.
This voice.
On record, on live, it doesn't change.
But I agree with you if you talk about the fact that she's not been,
We underestimated
talking about in
Dexterity.
conversations about vocal dexterity. I agree with you.
Hey,
Underrated.
seriously.
But Adina is projected in that side because she's won vocal performance before the TGMA.
She's a product of Sounds of the Future.
Got
Yeah.
nominations. So when it comes about vocal dexterity, I think she's talked about in that regard. But Enotiwa hasn't really come into such conversations. Enotiweezy.
Hi. Shall I say? Each time I hear the woman sing, I have to just check whether is the CD playing, is it a hybrid, or she's singing live. Charlie, she's always on key like a dumb.
So on point.
Hey.
She has a great voice.
Charlie. Okay. Let's
Andy, before we get into the conversation, on the back of Perez.
Asamaba.
Oh, no. This weekend, we're having a conversation as part of the
On gospel.
praise dance concerts. We're having a conversation with the gospel artists, urban gospel folks, together with the dancers. We want to understand how to be able to work together, essentially. Some of the research we did in the past really shows
You
that.
mean dancers?
Yeah, dancers.
And yes, our dancers don't go from Goja Flowers Muno. Some of them be Obiasha. This reminds. It's good you've brought this up. Some dancers now Obiasha Kwakwa Dobi dressing. They have white top, black trouser.
They do.
And then they dance and they are laughing. Almost.
Maybe
Haven't you noticed it?
Yeah.
There's always some two dancers, some Afianga dancers behind them in some flower, and then
But I think that was back in the day.
Mafuja.
That was back in the day.
Maybe that's Sujina flower.
That was back in the day.
You know this musician, Mama Esther?
Yes.
You know, Mama Esther used to shoot videos and be a timid in the hall, watch a video, room divider. Wow. So I told her, one time we were in the studio working on one of her songs, and I said, Mama Esther, you better contact Mark Willis. He shoots very nice videos. And I want you to work with Mark Willis. Mark Willis will give you a very good video. She said, okay. Give me his number. I gave her Mark Willis' number. She called Mark Willis. The next day I did and Mama Esther was calling me. I picked up. Mama Esther, what's up? Hey, Andy. Media Mark Willis was the one and my friend. Next video back go chama me a bono kikano. It was rodo. And soon nipa na ne nkasa no want so nya sa mesa ko gina flowers nim. Na mi ko gina mu a. Mi twa video ni wi anu ma cho directed by and say madam stop I'm calling him. Charlie, I'm calling him Mantse so sharp. Yeah, we are tired of those flower videos.
No, there's no flower in this particular case. No, it's it's a praise dance concert, so there are different phases to it. We have the ministrations and all of that. But one of the areas we want to be able to have in terms of conversation is the urban praise or the urban gospel artists and how they can work together with the dancers. So various dance groups coming from different parts of Ghana, from different churches, all meeting together. And there's going to be a dance battle as well. So it's on Saturday.
Gospel dance battle.
Yeah, it's going to be a dance battle. It's going to be dance ministration. It's going to be worship. All of that. So, you know what I mean? So all happening on Saturday, PIWC Atomic.
Right.
PIWC Atomic. Saturday, 2 p.m.
2 p.m.
And it's
Okay.
free.
Okay.
Free. Let's shabak.
Let's shabak.
The Lord, innit?
Okay.
And then we'll be there.
Government, oh, he's everywhere. Government urges government to pursue production of Azumah Nelson film. The government Kentucky Teku, I beg your pardon, Kentucky Teku II has called on government to commit itself to the production of films that will project some of Ghana's untold stories. In a speech read on his behalf by Joy FM sports journalist Nathaniel Atto during the second edition of the Africa Cinema Summit at the Movenpick Hotel in Accra, the overlord of the Ghana land acknowledged the role of cinema in preserving the culture and heritage of the people.
To go back to tell our own story. Today, my speech is going to be read by Nathaniel Atto. Where is he?
He's right here.
Nathaniel.
Take up the responsibility of funding some high-budget productions from here in Ghana, as well as some features and documentaries, which would feature key elements of the history of our nation. One random one, considering that we are on Ga and Ga-Dangme land, and considering that he is the custodian of Ga-Dangme culture, is the story of one of the most achieved athletes on the African continent, Berima Professor Azumah Nelson, who is a son of Gasoil. His story has that of culture, it has that of inspiration, and it has that of projecting for the future of the African way. This is one of many stories that can be pursued in a very vigorous way by the government that takes over in the year 2025.
Hitz FM 103.9.
And that was a message read by Nathaniel Atto on behalf of the Ga-Dangme. What? Amen. Robert, continue. It is Ga-Dangme.
Yes.
Not Ga-Dangme.
No, because the word is not supposed to be Ga, it's Ga.
It's Ga. So it's Ga-Dangme.
Yeah, so it's Ga. No, you just made a mistake. It's Ga.
Mantse.
You see me, my Ga.
No, my
Same way. I said my Ga. Okay, bro. My Ga.
My God.
My God.
Masa back in the day, we'll be free Accra, so free Ga no buy. My God. When someone, if you kill me, or if I say you want to kill me, so Obagbemi.
Obagbemi.
Obagbemi. Right?
Not Bemi. Bemi.
The tone goes down.
Obagbemi. Right?
No, the tone goes down. Bemi.
This thing every day.
It's tonal.
No, I need that correction because I always
when the tone
is bad.
Goes up, it's bad.
Which one? Oba
Bemi is correct. Don't if you take it up,
Bemi.
it's something different.
Bemi is the you
Oba
kill me.
Bemi.
But Obabemu and you
Hey, yes, everywhere.
Obabemu. There's again how I drink.
Hey, Robert, let's talk about
Problem child.
People being crazy.
Andy.
We've seen the likes of Ali.
Yeah.
We've seen Rocky.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, I watched. I think there's a new one on Netflix for George Foreman. I don't know if you've seen it. Yeah, Forrest Whitaker and who else?
I think Rocky doesn't make the cut. Rocky is not a true story.
It wasn't. I mean, I'm talking about the sport.
All right, yeah. Yeah, but I think that
Rocky was fictional, eh?
Yeah, that's Stallone's way of that was his penetration strategy.
No, there was he had one great boxer being there who even did a cameo. Yes, unfortunately he succumbed to drugs. Recently, I was reading about it. Yeah,
but I think it's a beautiful call, and it's not a thing just for. Let me even borrow that the focus should we should obviously do Zoom, but then again we should even do for more people, because you see, for the things we think, say, and do, the things we hear, and the things we endorse, the things we engage with, essentially, if they are captured in movies and presented to us, it's one of the best ways to be able to direct and shape our culture, our behavior, and how we actually tell our stories is important, because you see, elsewhere most of their story has been preserved in movies. I watched the story of Nelson Mandela, like from different
Long Walk to Freedom,
different acts. I think that there are about 3 different versions I've seen, and all of them speak to the same story. I learned about Winnie Mandela from one of these things and how the role she played in this whole thing. I learned a lot from there are other stories like I don't know if you watched The Great Debaters. It's also one of the best movies I've watched. Great lessons from it. Even Aquila and the Spelling Bee.
Aquila and the Bee.
Yes, I clearly got some. Like, the series of movies that I've watched, that all of them have great value when it comes to history, when it comes to entertainment, when it comes to teaching, preservation of culture, etc. And I think that we need to be able to do that for ourselves. What happened to Yasantua? What happened to Okonfa-Noche and everything we hear about him?
Movie.
The story is not. The story is even diluted.
Yeah, and these are things that are about us. So if you are looking for a movie that has an instant possible hit, because you see, the moment you release it, everybody would like to go and watch. At least X number of people will watch to see that if the production is good or not. And after that particular first experience, clearly you would have made a certain amount of money. But obviously we're asking for it to be good. So if we are able to do that, I think it will help. And I think the call that he's made, the Ga-Dangme has made, is at some point we need to be able to tell our stories. We need to be able to feed the younger ones and everybody with success stories from our own folks. Because the moment we see our people make it, it inspires us that we are also capable. I mean, Zunzum has got a beautiful story, beautiful success story that it should be preserved, it should be taught, it should be touted, it should be projected, and used as an inspirational element to be able to inspire the younger ones. I mean, why am I saying younger ones? I'll be inspired by it. So we need to allow that to happen so we can all learn from it. Yeah.
Okay, Kwame.
Andy, this is a good call. It's a good call because, just as Robert said, this is going to reflect our culture and who we are as a people. Now, the question is, why don't we have movie producers, venture into this field? For a long time, we keep talking about the need to have. Care? The question to me is not really about if they care. It's about, can they do that with the resources that they have? Do they have the financial resources? Because it's a different thing producing a normal movie and a different thing also producing something like a film on a personality of that caliber. Let's say a Kwame Nkrumah film or a Azumah Nelson film.
Or a Rollins
film. It requires more, resources that you need to make sure you put out a quality work, because you need to do more research. So many things go into that production. So do they have the resources? And that is one thing that Peter Sedutfia always says about we calling on them to do movies about historical things about our society or historical figures in our society. According to him, he thinks that anybody who is into movie production, who is doing that for commercial reasons, would also think about whether whatever they are producing is going to yield any commercial results for them. Is it just for the fact that I want to do that to be hailed as somebody who is being patriotic, or I'm doing this because I think that after my studies, after running studies to see how much I'll get, I'm actually going to get money from what I'm putting my money into? So the reason the Ga-Dangme mentioned Azumah, the government, in this whole conversation is because he thinks and he knows that this falls within the ambit of government, because government is responsible also in preserving our culture. And our cultural policy even speaks to that, as in what we can do as a people, as government, in making sure we don't lose what we have, we don't lose our stories that would impact generations. So it is a right call to government. And if government is really concerned about our stories and our personalities, who lived better lives or who lived lives that impact society, then I think that they should think about this, and maybe not just only Azumah Nelson, other people find a way of funding such projects. It shouldn't always be about, the fact that we are calling on all movie makers, because the individual movie maker may not be interested in such a story, also because who is funding him? The person is going looking for money from various places, and he is, looking forward to recouping investment. For government involvement, the government may not be necessarily, looking at how much it is getting from sales or from the revenue that comes after the movie is out. Government's aim in this regard will solely be about helping tell our story. So if government is in sync with this, and I'm happy that this happened on an NFA platform, an authority that oversees the film industry in Ghana. So I hope that once this has been said on that platform, it will be taken to the right quarters. We will get maybe funding for that. We start with one, another, then we keep on telling our stories to the next generation in the world.
Imagine if every year,
maybe one.
Every year one.
Maybe one.
And then you bring like 5 or 6 or X number of producers together.
Yeah.
It won't be bad crowd, Charlie.
Mr. Dusty, I think it's a good call, and we need to replicate that among various fields of endeavor where we've had some wonderful heroes come out from those areas. I think it's going to serve as a very huge inspiration to many young people and us. So we will also aspire to take some of the path they took to be able to, achieve some laurels for our country. So it is something that the National Film Authority and all the stakeholders should really take as a national project and look at how they can, do some of these things. Not long ago, we saw Anklebo do something, a play which featured the story of Bishop Duncan. Archbishop Duncan Williams.
I saw that play.
So those in that area should be able. People would love to watch some of these stories. I've been in a studio where musicians are trying to compose songs for some of our leaders. Trying to relive their life story. So it's a good script, and those in the area should be interested in that.
Wait.
Andy, maybe.
Yeah, that's Martinez, please.
Yeah, Andy, it's a way of celebrating great people of our nation. And clear example is even Ip Man. For me, I didn't know the story of Ip Man, but when I watched that movie...
Really? It's a true story, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You know how we used to call it IP Man?
IP Man, yeah. You see, it make it easier for those who find it difficult to read. Obia no Jojo Kakra Mike Tyson. So, what I'm saying is, it even make it very easier for those who find it difficult to read, just to follow and understand it. Because sometimes, some people find it very difficult going back to history, reading some of these things, except those who actually have the interest to learn and know more about it. But when it's a movie, you might even get to follow it without even realizing it. Like I said, Ip Man, I didn't know it was somebody's life lived. But after watching it, read the story, I got to understand. So a call like this is very good. And we've been talking about this, initiative over and over. How we are even empowering and encouraging the film directors to take their space. Kwame and Robert also mentioned about the resource. It's not even just about the money, but sometimes even to get
some props and all that.
yes, and even informations. Yes, it becomes very difficult. So if we have to go into a venture like this, then all these things have to be accessible, because sometimes you don't even know who to go to, where to even get some of these details. My concern is that in as much as we want government to support, to create the room, to create the atmosphere for this, I'm also calling on the chiefs themselves to also make it accessible, to also create that opportunity for, the young entrepreneur directors to also get that motivation to go into it, because we might not. I wouldn't encourage us to sit and fold our arms and wait for government to create that opportunity. Coming from Ga-Dangme, it's a very good call. But then I am also calling on Ga-Dangme based on the kind of influence he also have. I mean, the chiefs, the kind of influence they have. They should also find a way to create some fund for people to also assess those who are willing and interested. In fact, not just willing, but motivate and encourage directors or film producers to go into it, because all these heroes, these great men, they are from certain hometowns and villages and communities and cities. So I expect the chiefs within these towns and cities and villages to start that move. I believe it will encourage government when they see something like that. So as we are calling on government, I also want them to set the goal themselves. They should start so that we can get that motivation.
Okay, please hold on for me. Let me get on the phone and speak with my first and second winners of the quick cash. Unfortunately, Adam could not win.
You know something?
Let me quickly. Otherwise, the website, the software will go off. So quickly, let me pick Benis. Benis, good morning and thank you very much for joining us. How are you? Okay.
Andy, at the end of me bono, hono me 5 cities and I'm a 5. Sana 5 and just say you team 25 cities. I say so about 5. Just say no more of time I want to know. Into Mr. Hagla Chechen, they say you made me.
And so what
25
cities.
Me 5 cities.
Okay. Let me speak with Milton. Good morning, Milton.
You don't.
Good morning, Andy Dawson.
How are you?
A number of times.
I'm blessed, and you?
Very well. Very well. Milton, congratulations.
I'm sending me half.
Thank you.
You've won.
Yeah, I've won.
How much did you stake?
10 cities.
10 cities.
Yes.
We'll be out to 25 at we'll be out to 25. It didn't work. 10 cities.
Yes, please.
Chalabang, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, keep staking edge and you will win more. This is a promise I'm making.
All right.
Right.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I didn't say mommy half.
Right.
Mommy half. Mato 5. Mommy half.
25 cities per Fanasa.
Plus 10, which is 35.
Fanny saw the Ocha girl will be 50 cities.
Fanasa.
What was it? E? No, 35 cities are quite you watch your 35 cities. Adam, the lady you met at National Theatre.
Black Stars is playing today.
I'm asking you a question. Didn't you give her life?
And we are wishing them
Kibaluta go can be TV so say Wagosha a vice president and Magosha vice president Nanga Hello, Benis.
Hello, Andy.
Top of the morning to you. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine, thank you. Please, how are you too?
Right as rain. Where are you?
I'm in Nungwa, Adobono.
Nungwa?
Yes, please.
Good. What is Kwame saying?
No.
The word no kind of phrase, expression.
What has rain?
Right as rain.
So I'm right as rain.
You're right. As rain.
Yeah, why? What's wrong with that?
No, we are learning.
You are learning what? Almost.
We are the feet of grandpa.
Me bad there. What's bro?
Hey, Benis, let's talk. Benis and few of my own wear this canoe.
What are you?
Hey, Benis, how much did you take? What was it, Papa?
5 CD brandy.
5 CDs.
Yes, so
5 CDs.
5 CD.
Obia Bokao, someone stay. I don't came to stake with 25 Ghana cedis. Ayaka.
Brandy, actually, my 50 Ghana for the Mendy.
Hey!
And now, you did you are.
Mendy, I'm just trying. I promise I'm a winning.
Benis, I've been.
Thank you very much.
But just send me a crowd. That's it. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day. Right. When it Abayo teacher.
Right as rain.
Yes, what's a brothel? Pa. This expression now you see and right as rain. Yeah, they are two to them. What's a brothel? Teacher Niba.
But why are you saying you've never used it before?
Mean take rather. My use of brothel can say pa by expression with them use that.
So what you were checking on the internet?
We were learning
never
together.
lived in a rainy area, So
Savannah, in the Savannah area. Savannah.
So what as grass? Green as grass. That's the one.
Snake in the grass. Thank you.
Andy, I want to say good morning to the running mate of Ekradonko.
Yeah, Roman
father. I've seen him.
But wait,
so it be true.
It be true.
It be true. Today, he started his interview today.
No, it's true. I spoke with Ekradonko. This was before the Lumbers concert.
Wow.
And
I hope you're not disrespectful.
No, hell no. I spoke with the cat. Said, oh, mommy, Nyami Shao. So, what mommy, why in the running mate? You're there, that's what's any. No idea. No.
But how are you able to make everybody?
Charlie, when are you coming to do voices?
Comedy special.
Because you know,
comedy special.
You go to the president, and then
India for the quadrian. India for
the voices when tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow is when? Okay, Monday special, isn't it?
Why should I be doing voices?
I mean, like I said,
we need to explore that side.
Exactly.
But
the day you go talk about your profile, you get to that particular junction
where I have to mimic everybody.
You know what I mean?
Oh dear. Yeah, no.
Roman boy.
Roman father.
And then I said, me who say what church or the manifesto no book. I said, not all interviews and I said, book be done in China church.
If you don't go and I saw pence and treble, so I was saying, or buy, or
no, I shall make fufu and monthly allowance.
What's up, Eddie?
Remember a car, fufu
okay, I said,
and monthly allowance.
Dealer is performance.
Daybreak was her running mate the last 4 years.
And what permanent?
Minimums were permanent there.
Thank you very much for coming, Kwame. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Martinez. My dear listener,